We've moved on. We got Jalen McDaniels, who's looked pretty good. And I've seen some people online. I was one of them who said that in the 2 games that McDaniels has played, he's created more offense than Matisse did in the 3.5 years he was there. I mean, you can just see him. I mean, he's comfortable, like actually carrying the rock and actually doing stuff with the ball. That's something that kind of stood out last night. So the first question I want to ask you guys, we got 2 new additions. Obviously, we talked about McDaniels a little bit last week, but then we signed Eric. I'm going to start calling you Nostradamus here. You said Dewayne Dedmon would be one of the best fits for us. And
Nostradamus?
Yeah. I mean, Nostradamus. I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, I just felt that he's seasoned and he has shown the ability to step out and shoot a 3. So I just thought he brought a little more size at the center position with the ability to kind of play with James and Maxey. So that's kind of what you look for. A guy that can, help the team and help them. Playing beside them, say for instance, Joel is out or off the court. So from that standpoint, that's why I kind of thought he was the best fit. I thought if you're looking at Cousins, we all know how good Cousins, was at Sacramento, especially pre-injury, that I felt that he was a guy that was sort of in that mode. I don't think he was as talented and as skilled as Cousins, but it was sort of that mode of a player, and it was different than what we have also.
Dedmon is also part of the process years. He came in 2014 with that team. I think Lavoy Allen was on that team. Spencer Haas was on the team. So we Evan Turner. So a lot of the older guys on that team, and he's coming back to play with this team. I always talk about the process guys, but having Dedmon on here, if we do win a championship, it's nice to have a guy like that who has kind of been through the ringer with this team. The question I want to ask you guys, talking about Dedmon, talking about McDaniels now, it seems like that's going to be our guys unless we make one more transaction. I don't know if we will, but if this is the team that we have, how happy are you guys with this roster for the rest of the season? If you had to grade it out of 100, where would you guys? What number would you guys give it?
I think we're better than we were last week. I think more than anything, we still got to play. Like I think that we're good enough to beat Milwaukee and Boston, and we're still to the point where we can lose to Cavs and the Knicks or Brooklyn behind us.
Yeah.
But I do think that we have enough. So to me, if you're good enough, if you have enough, I think if you have enough to beat Boston and Milwaukee, you have enough to win a championship, because I think those two teams right now are the best and playing like the best in the whole NBA.
Yep.
And Denver's leading the West, and we've shown we can beat them, even though we haven't went to Denver yet. That's going to be a different game, but we've shown we can beat them at home. But if I'm confident that we can play with Boston, well, I'm confident we can play with Boston at home. I don't know about on the road yet. But you never know. So we get on the run here, we may only have to see one of those teams.
Yeah.
Which would be terrific.
I wasn't as happy about the Dedmon signing as you guys are. I prefer Noel, but as one of our subscribers said recently, he speculated on more. He probably received word that Noel was not going to be bought out and he would not be available, which certainly could be a possibility. It makes sense. I don't know, man. I don't think we're going to hand that job to Dedmon anyway. So I don't think he's going to come here.
I mean, at the end of the day, Joel's minutes are going to have to increase for us to win.
Yeah.
So getting another serviceable guy that's bigger, that can possibly play 8 to 10 minutes, is necessary.
Yeah.
Because if you go and I just that's all I said from before. Like, I didn't think this was a situation where whoever's coming in here should be playing 15 to 20 minutes a game anyway. Like, it shouldn't even be like that.
Yeah. No, it's true. Other than a lengthy 3-and-D player and a better backup center, which I wanted, I'm pretty happy with the team going forward the rest of the season. I think there was only so much we could do and change in season, especially with all the the tax talk and avoiding the tax
and
bill.
without giving something up too. I mean, it's hard to improve if you're getting rid of someone. So I didn't think that they were into making a drastic move. Like I said, if Joel is playing as well as we think, and he's an MVP and MVP candidate, you got to think that you're capable of beating anybody. If that's the case,
Mm-hmm.
if guys are average or better, we should be beating anyone. James has been playing great.
Yep.
Get Maxey to be more consistent to the way he was pre-injury, which takes some time. Tobias to be average, a little better, just be average.
And Maxey's still adjusting, right? So I mean, I
we got a chance. So it's a different role. So Melton I think Melton just needs to develop more into the 3-and-D. That's basically how he's being played.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I think you have enough. You have enough to beat those two teams. I think you have enough to win the championship.
I think McDaniels too. He looked great. I mean, he was second in our team in bench minutes. And it's exactly what I think Morey said he wanted to give Doc, someone off the bench that he could play without worrying about not contributing on one side of the team, on one side of the offense or defense. He wanted a guy who can, at worst, be serviceable at both, where obviously Matisse's minutes showed that they just didn't trust him.
You can trust him both ways.
Yeah, they just didn't trust Matisse. And if they don't trust him now for 12 minutes a game in the regular season, he wasn't going to play in the playoffs. He wasn't going to play at all in the playoffs. Nah. So I mean, it was a great trade for them if they're like, we got a guy I know right now we're not going to play that much in the playoffs.
I mean, all those guys are going to get shots in the playoffs. Like I've been telling you guys like before about double teams. You're seeing how many more teams are starting to double Joel and starting to double him hard. That's how the playoffs is going to look. Like nobody's going to allow him to just play.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen. So he's going to have to start getting down on that post and getting the fadeaway or do something, getting that ball deep and going straight up before that double come or something.
Mm-hmm.
And stop falling. I know y'all like the way he falls all the time.
I like the way he falls. Hey,
y'all like him and his falling coach and all
I prefer him falling this way than falling worse ways that we've seen in the past. I
don't want him falling at all. I want him to stay up, right?
That ain't going to happen. He fall, man. He's like, oh, man, he was
falling. Like that. Y'all like the fact that he had a falling coach. I thought that was like really interesting.
Let's put it this way. MB was falling more than the Eagles DNs against the Chiefs in that Super Bowl, all right?
Oh, my goodness.
After you read that Morey comment that, Morey said we wanted a guy who could, was serviceable at both ends. You know what? I take back what I said about Thybulle's comments. Thybulle can't have his own retort to what Morey said. Morey pretty much said he's unplayable at one end, and that's why they got rid of him. So you know what? I forgot that Morey actually came out and said that. So, I mean, let Thybulle have his moment to say something as a retort to that. I mean,
yeah.
I don't even think it was. I mean, that's the thing. So if he gonna say that publicly, imagine how they treat him.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's not like it was a grudge and they didn't play him out of spite. He wasn't improving where they needed him to improve, so they can't just keep playing.
He didn't get a real opportunity this year.
This season, nah, I don't think he did. I think he earned a little more playing time. He earned it at least. Get him around the 20-minute a game.
You didn't give him a chance to come in and say, "Hey, he can't do this and that." Like he wasn't giving him a chance. It's like Birdman. He's a shooter. Like his minutes has been inconsistent. So you got to make a shot. If you want to make a shot, you got to let him play. Let him get shots. If he played a lot more, he'll make more shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you're playing like a roller coaster, you never know what you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one game this season where Matisse, for us, played more minutes than McDaniels played for us in his second game.
That's crazy.
I mean, that says a lot.
I think they were done with him after the playoffs last year with the whole vaccination thing. And then
I think they came into the season and once they got PJ, he was not in their plans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was either a matter of before the trade deadline or this summer, regardless, he's not in our plans.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it was. And that's fine.
Yeah.
if that's you're moving on, you're moving on. Let's just let it be about that. It ain't got to be what you gave Doc and all this other stuff. Like that stuff is just like Thybulle's comments wasn't. If they weren't necessary, then Morey's comments weren't necessary.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
just Jalen, we like what he does. We like what he does on our team, and this and that. Just move on. But
yeah.
He also complimented Thybulle a lot too, for the record. It wasn't just a slaughter fest.
Yeah, but compliments backed up. I mean, what's the essence of it though? He's talking about the guy.
I mean, like the old saying go with your kids, you can give 7, take 7 positives from 1 negative. Something like that.
I mean, he didn't even need to say anything. The guy was getting 12 minutes a game. It's obvious they weren't trusting him. So, I mean, the proof was in the minutes. That's one thing about basketball.
And that's what I'm saying. So if you're Thybulle and you're his agent, and you play less than 12 minutes a game, whatever, 12 minutes a game, and the guy that they went and got out, their big signee, is playing way more than you and playing the minutes you played last year and giving you less production.
Mm-hmm.
Would you all not have an issue with that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. So it could be a contract issue.
Yeah.
Contract. In my contract year, you're playing this guy more than me.
Mm-hmm.
Look, and if he continues this, then he'll be right. I guess we'll see.
It won't be the first time somebody was wrong. If that's happened, I mean, the way it goes, I mean, that's Portland's decision now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just because if he has success in Portland, it doesn't mean that the Sixers kind of
fumbled it.
It's just, like I said, like not everybody can perform in Philly. It's not made for everybody.
Yeah. I just think it becomes under more of a microscope with these fans, the Sixers fans on Twitter, because they blame, Morey and Doc for, blowing it with Isaiah Joe and Charles Bassey. And then now I think they're saying if we bring in Dewayne Dedmon.
Now Bassey, but Isaiah Joe, like, should have for the team that we have, he should have gotten an opportunity.
Yeah.
But he's only playing 15 minutes a game for OKC. How many minutes was he really going to see with us?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying for a guy like him, for what he does, and we're talking about shooting, he should have gotten an opportunity. He never got one.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like I was an Isaiah Joe when I was in Seattle. Never really got a true opportunity. And it was a team that was winning and had championship aspirations. So I get it. I know how that looks. And then I go to Philly, and then all of a sudden, hey, he can't play. So is it you can't play, or is it you didn't get an opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, like, he didn't get a true opportunity.
Yeah. So
that is on Doc and Morey. That right there is on them. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is on them if a guy doesn't get an opportunity and goes somewhere else and has success.
So he played 4 less minutes a game for us last year.
I mean, he playing, but how many? Like,
Shot
I can't even
12 less percentage points at 3,
but no meaningful minutes. He didn't play meaningful minutes on a consistent basis.
No,
it's consistency. You know you're going to play. You know where you're going in.
So why isn't he playing more? 15 minutes is not that much for a team like OKC.
But he know he's going in. It's consistent. He can prepare himself mentally and physically, emotionally to go in and do it. He know it's coming.
Most of his minutes for us.
And then he's also encouraged to shoot the ball, do what you do best, shoot when you're open. So all of that encouragement, and that's sort of what I was talking about when I feel like they have my back. But if you're going in, one time you go in the first quarter, the next time you play 10 games from there, you may go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he wasn't in a rotation.
It's no rhythm to it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you like if the guy's playing like that, like to have expectations on them, you kidding yourself, really?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's shooting 45% from 3. He's having a lights out season as far as shooting goes.
Yeah, good for him. And I think sometimes
what else did we envision him doing?
No, that's it. That's it.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that's it. I'm saying it's great. It's great. I mean, five.
The way they're
5
playing
threes.
and the way they use him, that's sort of the Vinnie Johnson way. Like that's sort of how they looked at it.
5 threes a game in 15 minutes. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, if we didn't cut him for him to go to OKC and do what he's doing, what he'd be doing, getting for comments on our bench right now, not actually playing. So I mean, it's in the long run, it's better for him than So
I mean, in some ways, they just basically did him a favor.
Yeah.
Thing is, with our injuries in the first half of the season, he would have gotten major minutes, man.
Yeah.
He actually would have had a lot of minutes. That damn Furcon contract got stuck.
Mm-hmm. No. We'll see what happens with that. There's potential we could buy him out. That's what I've read, but we'll see.
We'll see.